There is more you can do than you think. Most of it is small. I want to start there, because if you're watching this, you probably already know that time is short. You don't need me to remind you. What I want to give you instead is a list of things you can actually do, starting today, that cost almost nothing. Ask nothing of your dog beyond what they already have, and that your dog will feel. This is not a video about loss. That video is for another day. This one is about the week you still have, what to put in it, what matters, what you can do with your own hands, in your own house, without any training, any equipment, or any expertise you don't already have. I'm not a vet. I want to say that clearly. What I've gathered here comes from veterinary hospice frameworks, from guidance published by organizations focused on end-of-life care for companion animals, and from conversations with Dr. Hale, my dog's vet, who I've leaned on more over the last few years than I like to admit. Some of it comes from owners who have been exactly where you are and wrote down what helped. 10 things. Most of them cost nothing. All of them you can do at home with your dog today. And hear me on this, you don't have to do all 10. If you only have the bandwidth for one, do the last one. I'm glad you're here. Stay with me on this one. Number 1. Bring their world down to one floor. When your dog is weak, when stairs have become something they hesitate at instead of something they don't even think about, they are spending energy you don't want them to spend. Every trip up to the bedroom, every walk across the house to the water bowl, every effort to reach the back door, it costs them something now that it didn't cost them before. So bring it all to them. Food and water within a few steps of where they sleep, their bed near the door they use most, or in the room they want to be in. If you can set up a small station, a water bowl that doesn't require them to bend far down, food at that same height, their bed positioned so they can see you from it, do that. This sounds almost too simple, but what you're doing is returning something to your dog. Energy that they can spend on rest, on being with you, on the things that still feel good. The distance doesn't seem like much from where you're standing. It's significant from where they are. Number 2, keep the routine. Your dog knows your schedule, probably better than you do. Dogs in homes with consistent daily rhythms use that consistency as information. It tells them things are okay. This day is like other days. Even when their body is telling them something different, your behavior is a signal they're reading. Keeping the routine isn't about pretending nothing has changed. It's not about denial. It's not even about your dog knowing what time it is. It's about the message your presence and your patterns send, that you are still here and the world is still safe. You don't need to keep it exactly. Slow the walk down to the end of the driveway. Shift dinner by half an hour, but try to keep the shape of the day. If your dog has always had breakfast at 7, have breakfast at 7. The ritual is the point, not the precision. Number 3, surface and traction. This one is practical and urgent. A weakened dog, especially one with muscle loss or hind-end weakness, is afraid of slippery floors. Not afraid the way we're afraid of something we can name, but afraid the way a body is afraid of something it can no longer trust. Their legs don't grip the way they used to. Hardwood, tile, polished concrete, these surfaces ask their muscles to do something those muscles can no longer reliably do. A dog who is afraid of falling stops moving. A dog who stops moving loses strength faster, eats less, and withdraws. The fix is inexpensive. Yoga mats, rubber-backed bath rugs, carpet runners. You don't need to recarpet your house, you need to lay a path. From their bed to their water bowl, from their resting spot to the door, a surface they can trust underfoot. Veterinary rehabilitation specialists talk about this in terms of proprioception, your dog's body sense of where it is in space. When muscle mass decreases, proprioception gets unreliable. A grippy surface doesn't fix that, but it makes the world feel safer. And a dog who feels safe on their feet will move more, drink more, and engage more than a dog who doesn't. Number 4, temperature. Older and ill dogs lose the ability to regulate their own temperature. Their muscle mass, which generates heat, has often decreased. Their circulation isn't what it was. Your dog may feel cold in a room you find comfortable, or overheated in conditions that seem mild to you. Watch where your dog chooses to lie. Pressed against the wall for warmth? Seeking patches of sun? Panting in a room that isn't warm? Refusing the spot they used to love? Their body is giving you information. A heating pad set to its lowest setting, placed under half their bed, not the whole bed, so they can move away if they get too warm, can help. A light blanket draped loosely over them when they sleep. In warmer months, a cool, hard surface to lie on, a fan running nearby but not pointed directly at their face, shade over their usual spot. You don't need a thermometer. You need to watch where your dog chooses to be and then make that place better. Number 5. A shirt you've already worn. Your dog knows your smell the way you know a voice. Dogs have approximately 300 million olfactory receptors. Your nose has around 6 million. What your dog gets from your scent is not a rough impression, but a detailed portrait, your emotional state, your stress level, your presence, or your absence. A shirt you've been wearing, not washed, not fresh, worn, carries that portrait with it. If you have to leave the house, leave the shirt near your dog's bed, not as a replacement for you, but as a thread back to you while you're gone. I started doing this with Noodle last year, during a stretch when I was working longer hours than I should have been. I can't tell you exactly what he got from it, maybe nothing measurable. But when I came home, he settled faster, the way a dog settles when something that was slightly off has come right again. I can't prove that was the shirt, but research into canine olfaction has consistently shown that familiar human scent reduces stress markers in dogs. And in a week when your dog's world is smaller than it has ever been, familiar is everything. Number 6, take them outside, even just to sit. If your dog cannot walk the route they used to walk, carry them to the front step. Lay a blanket near the door and help them outside. Let them lie in the grass for 5 minutes. The world outside still smells like the world. The air still moves. The sounds are still there. This is why we save their physical energy inside the house, so they have enough left to just be a dog outside. And your dog, even a very tired one, often comes alive a little when you take them out. Veterinary hospice frameworks include quality of life assessment and sensory engagement. Being present in the world, not just waiting indoors, is part of that picture. That's a conversation to have with your vet. But I'll say this: the outdoors asks nothing of your dog. It just offers. Most dogs know the difference between a room and the open air, even when they can't go far, especially then. Number 7, food. Loosen the rules. I want to be careful here, because your dog's diet at the end of their life depends on their specific condition, and that conversation belongs with your vet. Different diagnoses come with different dietary needs, and I'm not in a position to override any of that. But here's what I can say, and what veterinary hospice frameworks generally support: when appetite is declining, getting your dog to eat anything, to take pleasure in something, often matters more than hitting every nutritional target. Here is the reality of this stage. The goal has shifted. It's no longer what's best for their long-term health. It's what gives them a moment of enjoyment today. Warm broth poured over whatever they'll eat. Something soft. The thing they always loved. Ask your vet what's safe for your dog's specific condition. Then within that space, let them have it. And if your dog doesn't want to eat, don't push. Offer, sit nearby, let them choose. A dog who is nauseated or in discomfort doesn't need the added stress of being encouraged to do something their body is refusing. Number 8, pain. What to watch for and what to ask your vet. This one I'm going to take seriously because it's the one where I don't want to let you down. I'm not a vet, and I'm not here to tell you what any sign specifically means. That's exactly what your own vet is for. But I can tell you what to watch so that when you call, you have something to report. Dogs don't show pain the way we expect. They are not dramatic about it. They often go quiet instead of loud. Here's what you might notice in a dog who is hurting: a resting breath rate that's slightly faster than it has been, not panting from heat, just a slightly elevated rhythm when they're calm and lying down, reluctance to be touched in places they used to welcome touch, shifting positions constantly, unable to find the one that's comfortable. Not coming to greet you at the door, a stillness that's different from resting, a stillness that's holding something in. It wasn't a loud pain. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't obvious. It was a dog who had gone quiet in a specific way. That quiet is worth knowing. The Glasgow Composite Measure Pain Scale, developed at the University of Glasgow, is a real clinical tool that vets use to assess pain in dogs. You don't need to know the scale, but you can do what it does. Watch your dog's posture, their gaze, their response to gentle pressure, whether they're eating and moving and making contact with you. Here's what I'd suggest writing down before your next call with your vet. Has their resting breathing changed? Are they reluctant to move or reluctant to be touched in specific places? Have they stopped doing something they were doing before? Are they eating and drinking? Dr. Hale told me once that the owners who come in with a list are the ones she can actually help. Not because the list is medically perfect, but because it gives her the picture. You are with your dog every hour. She sees them for 20 minutes. Your observation is the data. Don't underestimate what you're seeing. And when you make that call, ask if they, or a mobile vet in your area, makes house calls. A dog in pain doesn't need the stress of a waiting room. Let the vet come to their safe space. Number 9. Soften the noise. A dog's hearing is incredibly sensitive. When they are weak or in discomfort, the chaotic sounds of a normal household can quickly become overwhelming. Their nervous system is already working overtime just to keep them stable. You don't need to whisper. But turn down the TV a little, move loud appliances out of their resting area, close the door to the street if it's busy. You are giving them a quiet environment where they don't feel the need to stay on alert. It costs absolutely nothing, but it gives them permission to finally drop their guard and sleep. Number 10. Stay. Once you've set up the mats and tracked the breathing and made the calls, put the notebook away. I almost put this first. I kept it here because I wanted to earn it. When Rusty, my family's dog when I was growing up, was in his last week, I was 14, and I had no idea what to do with that. So I did the thing that felt like doing something. I looked up symptoms. I asked questions that had no answers. I moved from room to room, searching for something that would fix what couldn't be fixed. I was in the other room. And the thing I think about, 20-some years later, is the hours I spent not sitting next to him. I'm not telling you this to make you feel guilty if you recognize yourself in it. The urge to fix is an act of love. It comes from the right place, but in the final week, there is no fix. There is only presence. This is not performance. This is not obligation. This is not you making yourself feel better, though it might do that too. It's the thing your dog needs most. Your dog knows where you are. Research into canine social cognition from labs like the Duke Canine Cognition Center has documented how attuned dogs are to human location and emotional state. This is not sentimental language. You are your dog's safe place. You have been, probably for most of their life. That doesn't change in the last week. It becomes more true. Sleep on the floor next to their spot if you can. Don't make them come to you. Go to them. This is not nothing. This might be everything on this list. Most of what's here is small. That is the point. Not because small means easy. Some of this will be hard. But because small means you can do it. Today. Without anything you don't already have. The rubber mat under their paws. The worn shirt left next to their nose. The 5 minutes outside in the morning air. The list you bring to the phone call with your vet. The hour on the floor. You already know how to love your dog. This week isn't different from every week that came before it. It just asks you to do it more deliberately, more quietly, more present. What did you do for them at the end that you'd want someone else to know? Leave it in the comments. I read every one of them. Go say hi to your dog right now. And I'll see you in the next one.